everyone, and welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. If you've seen my haul, you have seen my little excuse for my dark eyes. I don't know why they look this dark. I think it's the lighting, so please bear with me. I'm not a demon, I promise. So this video is a book review for Crewel by Gennifer Albin, and this book is a dystopian like every other book that's coming out lately. This came out back in October, and I was so excited to buy it, and I finally decided to read it. And it's about this girl, sorry, her name's really hard to say. Adelise, I don't know. And she is just kind of coming of age, and you have to take these tests to find out if you are going to have the potential to be a spinster. And spinsters are these people that kind of spin these weaves in order to dictate okay, they have this many crops in this town, they have this many babies in this place, so they kind of set your life up to what you're gonna have. Basically, they control the weather, they control if you're gonna die. Basically, they could just rip you, which means that they'll take you right out and it's like you never existed. And in this world, Adelise is she's shown potential to be a spinster, so her parents have been trying to teach her how to fail these tests. They don't want her to pass these tests because once you're a spinster, you are completely taken away from your family and you cannot see them ever again. So, and you kind of gradually forget who you are. And her parents are kind of those people that are against the government. So they're teaching her how to fail this test. And she goes, and when she takes the test, she makes that subtle mistake that gives her secret away. And she knows that they're going to be coming for her that night. They come in the middle of the night, and it's supposed to be oh, it's amazing if you get chose to be the spinsters, because the spinsters are beautiful and young, and they get basically whatever they want and kind of shown part. So it's supposed to be a good thing that you're being chosen as a spinster. Well, the government wants you to think that. And so she goes home and she's trying to pretend that they're not coming for her. She doesn't want to hurt her family. And while they're enjoying dinner and stuff, after they think that she's passed this test, that she's failed it on purpose, they come for her. And her parents have these holes that's not a word, dug under the ground for her to go somewhere, and they mark her and they said never forget who you are, and they tell her to run, and she ends up getting caught, and it appears that her father has been killed, her mother they can't find, and they have captured her sister, as they want her to think. We don't really know the truth of what happened to them yet. And so she gets taken away, and she's getting all this spinster training, and there's a person called the Crueler. And the Crueler is the head honcho of all of the out of all of the spinsters, and they have these special talents that nobody knows about. And it appears that Adelise might be having some of these traits that a Crueler would have, which causes all these things, because normally they would kill runaways, but they kept her alive, and she needs to know why they kept her alive. And there's all these kind of love stories. There's this he's almost like a senator in their world. I can't remember what they call him, but he's kind of after her, which is kind of creepy because he's 50 and she's only 18, so it's kind of disgusting. And then there's these two boys. There's one that's he does all the dirty work, and then there's this other guy who does he's called a valet. No, the other guy's a valet who does everything, and then there's the other one who's a servant boy to one of her teacher spinsters, and the teacher spinster hates her. But these boys kind of cause a mini love triangle, which was a little weird. It was a weird love triangle, and she also has a mentor who tries to protect her, and it's this really interesting kind of story. But I only gave this book, I believe, a 3 on Goodreads, because I did enjoy it. It was an interesting world to be taken to, but I was just kind of confused by a lot of it just because of the fact that I really don't understand. Like, they'd be talking about how you weave and you do this, and I'm like, I can't follow that. I just don't. And, like, the whole, like, the guy being kind of after her that's older than her was a little weird. And then the weird love triangle. Like, some love triangles work out. This one was just weird. And then it ended really weird as well. And there should be a second book. I don't know when that's coming out. I don't think it even has a name yet. But I'll probably read the second one just because I read this one. But I wasn't in love with it. Like, it wasn't as amazing as I was expecting it to be, which has been happening to me a lot lately. So, I don't know, it was a decent story. Like, I would suggest you read it. It might be for you. You might understand it a lot more than I did. But it was a good story, just not my cup of tea. And, yeah. Like, that's an interesting world, I would think, because of the fact that, like, being, like, society being woven together and having you're only allowed to have the amount of children that you're allowed to have, and just, like, it's weird. Like, you can only have jobs that they basically, like, assign to you. So, like, Annalise wanted to be a teacher. She had successfully failed her test. And, because usually once you fail, you just come home and all of a sudden you automatically start putting ads in the paper for males to be like your husband, because males and females are segregated, which was, like, interesting. I feel like that's a common thread through, like, a lot of these books other than, like, Hunger Games. It's like boys and girls can't be together, which is just weird. Like, why wouldn't they want that to happen? I don't know. But yeah, that's Crewel. 3 stars from me. That sounds funny. That was Crewel because it's only 3 stars. But no, the book's called Crewel by Gennifer Albin. She's got a G in her name, just if you want to look that up. I always put titles and authors in the down bar. So that's it from me, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye, everyone.